Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hey everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards, the first annual event of its type. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. And guess what? It's time to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person for this amazing level event. It's going to be above the Oscars, above the Grammys. And guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com. And the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you want to be there in person because I'm going to be speaking. That's right. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. If you want to come to a mini conference, this is the place to be because I'm going to give you the knowledge that night as well as performances. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's going to be a night to remember. You don't want to forget this. And you help vote by going to forbiddenknowledge.com, go to the Conscious Awards link. You can text in a vote for who you want for any category, as well as if you're out of the country, you can use the web form ballot to still vote for anyone you think is worthy of being honored that night. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I want to see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
It's the Numerovational Session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Bring the energy up. 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 Magic equals intention. Magic equals intention. That's what it says on my shirt now. Lord have mercy. Oh, first of all, big up to all of you. Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Islam, peace, Irie, Alafia, the good news, the God news. And the God news is that you, God, woke up this morning. You're God experiencing this physical perspective of life. Good. Today is May the 19th, 2023. A lot of mercy. Happy birthday to Malcolm X in the cosmic reality realm. He would have been 98 years old, today. And today, when you add the 5 plus the 19 plus the 2023, that equals 2047. And 2 plus 4 equals 6. And 6 plus 7 equals 13. Now, that is the older way of adding. When you add the month plus the actual day that it says 19 and add up the actual year of this year, that's 2023. That is what we call the older way. So you get a vibration out of there. You get a vibratory number out of that particular way of adding the numbers. Now, when you add it across, there's a different vibration. And this is what a lot of the quote unquote modern numerologists stay on this newer way of adding, which is cool because you're looking at things from a holistic perspective. But when you add 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 22. So if 22 is considered a master number and 13 usually in 13 in the Chaldean or the most mystical system of numerology represents the power and dominant number. If those two numbers show up, utilize those numbers very carefully. Utilize them very carefully because 13 is such a powerhouse number in history. That's why they have made us fear the number 13 for years. I know I think it's called Trisk or whatever. Yeah, I know it starts with that Trisk. The fear of the number 13. I just don't feel like Googling it up. You know what? Let's Google it up and find out how they say it. All right, let's say it because it's still an interesting word. It's still an interesting word. The fear of the number 13.
According to Wolfram Mathworld, while fear of the number 13 can be traced back to medieval times, the word triskaidekaphobia itself is of recent vintage, having been first
triskaidekaphobia. Triskaidekaphobia. You try saying that 3 times. See what happened to your tongue. But again, it's been the fear of 13 that has been pushed on us when 13 is not to be feared. 13 is to be understood. So in one aspect of numerology, the day, the fullness of this day, the universal day adds up to a number 13, which is the old aspect of adding numbers because it adds up to 247 and 2 plus 4 plus 7 equals that 13. But when you do it in the modern way of adding it all across, all the numbers across, it adds up to the number 22. As the numerovator, if I found somebody with a life path under that particular number, those two numbers, then I would tell them the story of those two numbers and why they need to activate both numbers. And be aware of the lesser frequency of the two numbers, which somebody put up here before. That's the lesser frequency of the 13 and the 22, because the 13 represents power and dominance. It's not only a intuitive metaphysical number that deals with the disciplines of the 13, especially when you get into religious theology, the 12 disciples and Christ being the 13th, that means you had to go through the discipline of the 12 disciples in order for you to be the Christ. Because every one of us have the potential to be the Christ. Christ only means anointed. What does the word Christ mean?
Here's the definition of Christ, the title, also treated as a name given to Jesus.
Okay. I mean, they're giving us that. The literal meaning, please. Anointed one. As I look at it, it only means anointed. So every one of us have the ability to be anointed in whatever we do. Please share this. Yeah, I'm gonna touch a little biblical theology. Because if the word Christ means anointed one, which one of you is anointed to do what you do in your family, in your circle? Because according to biblical theology, Jesus did what he had to do and he stood out. of his family to become the anointed one, according to biblical theology. I'll drink to that. So if every wise man and prophet has been telling you that you can do the same as they can do, you just have to be disciplined to do this, then when you see a universal number like the number 13, which this day adds up to, if you add the month plus day plus year, it adds up to, if you add 5 plus 19 plus 2023, adds up to 2047, and 2 plus 4 plus 7 equals that number 13, then it behooves you to be creative enough, be expressive enough, and be disciplined enough, because I just gave you 3 of the numbers, the 1, 3, and the 4. Creative enough, expressive enough, and the 4, the discipline enough to be that anointed one that you're supposed to be in your family. Because each one of us was blessed with a gift. I just seen my dear friend Kendall. Nobody else in her family is doing hypnotherapy. Nobody in her family is doing hypnotherapy but her. So she was anointed to be a hypnotherapist and to help others through hypnotherapy, or hypnotic therapy, or whatever they call it. She is the anointed one in her family. So what are you anointed? And the theme of today's broadcast is dig deep within for divine courage. You got to dig deep. If you want to bring out what is divine within you, you got to be willing to dig deep, because when you dig deep, that's when you find the precious. Think about it. We are all anointed. We all have a separate fingerprint, eye retina scan print, feet print, different tastes. We all have it. All my children, all my cousins, all your children, all your cousins, all your brothers, all your sisters. Everybody is not going to tap into that anointed energy, but I guarantee if people learn to dig deep within, just like we dig deep within the earth to find diamond, gold, and silver, and precious, and it takes courage to go and dig for those things. You know how many people have died while mining diamond, silver, gold, and precious stones? Oh, it takes divine courage to do something like that. And people don't realize. And the word divine in the Chaldean system adds up to the master number 22. Today, when you add the month, day, and year across, when you add all the individual numbers across, adds up to the master number 22. So divine courage is needed when you want to be your greatest self. When you want to be your greatest self. And the word courage in the Chaldean system adds up to the number 27. Now, in Chaldean numerology, before you add it up to the number 9, let me share something with you. 27 represents, it's called a scepter. The 27 in Chaldean or compound numerology is denoted as the symbol of the scepter. A scepter is some type of precious staff or some type of pedigree staff that was passed down from generation to generation, sometimes from king to prince, from queen to princess, or whoever has it and whatever child that comes out of them. So the word courage adds up to 27. So in order for you to have this 27, you have to recognize the scepter of creativity and productivity in your very being in order for you to become the Christ or the anointed energy, because like I said, the word Christ means anointed one. And all of us have the potential to be the anointed one. All of us. If we choose to dig deep within for divine courage. In the Pythagorean system, the word divine adds up to 36. And the word courage adds up to 34. Now, that deals with creativity, it deals with expansion, but also it has the 369 Nikola Tesla energy, or what they dub as Nikola Tesla, because Nikola Tesla didn't own it. He just recognized it. So the word divine in the Pythagorean system adds up to 36, which equals a 9. So right there, you got the 3, 6, and 9. So of course, as a numerovate, I'm going to look at all of them. If 3 is the expansive level, the expanded number, the expressive number, and 6 is the balance and harmony number, and 9 is the number of completion and higher level of thinking, then that's how you have to roll when you want to become divine. You got to be willing to express, you got to be willing to find balance and healing, and you got to be willing to take it to the next level and see it till it's completed. That is the story of the word divine from a simple perspective. Man, it's a beautiful thing. In the Pythagorean, the word courage in the Pythagorean system adds up to 34, which equals a 7, 3, 4, and 7. Again, taking you this time to an internal method of researching your inner being to bring the courage out, because it adds up to the 7, and 7 is an internal number that deals with research and digging deep. So anybody born under that number or connected to that number has to always dig deep. They don't like to stay on the surface. They got to always be curious about what they want to get to and keep on digging until they find it. So the word courage, in order for you to get this courage, you got to dig deep. Just like the lion in the, was it the lion or the scarecrow that had to get courage? I think it was the lion that had to get courage. He had to get the heart. The heart. That means he had to go within deep and find that courage, because it all resides right there in that heart. And that's where your divine courage is going to make manifest if you're willing to dig deep within. And every one of your numbers can be the helping and helpful apparatus to get you to where you got to go if you're willing to put into play. Remember, I told you I'm not going to say work no more, because we're playing or plurking. We're plurking to get, because we're going to mix the play with the work. Plurking to get, not twerking. Some of y'all Negroes be out there think y'all messing up. So the plurking, the work, the play and work mixed together, the plurking. It's just like when I go on quote unquote vacation, I call it a paycation. I literally say it's a paycation because I'm getting paid while I'm taking my trip away to whether it's Jamaica or Florida or wherever I got to go and relax and get my mind in. It's always a paycation, not a vacation. I'm getting paid. So, if the word divine courage adds up to those frequency numbers that I just shared with you, the interpretation of those repetitive, those measurable, and those observable numbers can help give you guidance to take you to where you got to go. So you can living your best life. Ain't going back and forth. I ain't going back and forth with people. I don't do that. I don't have to do that no more. I've put in my plurk. And those that don't know what plurk is, it's play and work. I put in my plurk already. I've played while I work. I was running nightclubs, having fun, emceeing shows, all that. I clerked and got paid. I played and worked at the same time. I've put in my clerk. I've put in my clerk. Now, in order for you to find that divine courage, you have to be willing to dig and recognize where that spark of light is. And in the interim, pay attention to what's going on around you, but what's also really happening within you. What's happening in you? Look at this little sign right here. It says, enjoy the little things. Enjoy the little things. That's what it says. And there's a book that I have called, I have a book that I forgot who, I think it was written by Robert Crossan or something like that. And the book says, man, I know Les Brown mentioned the book, and that's why I got the book. The book says, enjoy little things, because don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Don't sweat the little things, but enjoy the little things. But don't sweat the little aggravation that people might try to bring to you at your job. People might try to bring to you on the street, that people might try to bring to you at your events, because those are the things that helps to find what is deep inside of you, to see if you have the divine courage to be able to mitigate and navigate through those rough waters when it comes. Because rough times will come. I've been into disaster preparedness for over 20 years. Rough times will come. But if there's a rough time, there's always going to be a smooth time. When there's a storm, there's always going to be a calm. Richard Carlson wrote that book. Yes, Richard Carlson wrote that book. There's always going to be a smooth time. Don't sweat the small stuff, but enjoy the little things. Enjoy the little things in life. Enjoy the flowers in front of your house. Enjoy the grass by putting your foot in it. Enjoy touching a tree. Enjoy just getting up out the bed and saying, I'm grateful. Enjoy brushing your teeth and washing your face and looking in that mirror and looking dead in your eyes and say, you are a beautiful mother. Shut your mouth. Or you're a handsome mother. Shut your mouth. Enjoy the little things. I enjoy my tea in the morning. It's organic black tea, and I got all different, but I enjoy waking up and coming downstairs and opening up the windows. And whether I see an overcast or rainy day or a sunny day, I enjoy those days. Enjoy the little things, but don't sweat the small things that might try to aggravate you. Don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. Like I said, the word divine courage, when you add it all up, if you add the word divine courage, divine in the Pythagorean again adds up to 36, which is a 9. Courage in the Pythagorean adds up to a 34, which is a 7. 7 and 9 is 16. 16 equals that 7. That 16 is telling me, when I see the word divine courage in the Pythagorean system, it tells me I have to plan. And if I don't plan, I plan to fail. So all my inner workings to bring out and my inner diggers to bring out this divine courage, I have to be creative, be balanced, and plan in order for me to attract. Because the number 7 is still the law of attraction, is one of the law of attraction numbers. So it is something that you have to be creative and assertive, be balanced and healing. The 1 of 6, I'm giving you the story. The 1, 6, creative and assertive. The number 6 is the 1 in the 16 is the creative and assertive number. The 6 is the balance and healing number. The 7 is the digger, deeping, and the manifestation number, because it brings law of attraction after you've done the necessary planning. Don't expect to attract something if you didn't foster the environment to be able to hold on to what you attracted. Interesting. Think about that. If the number 16, that divine courage in the Pythagorean system adds up to, and it's one of the numbers, the 16 compound numbers, a number of planning, or you would go down a fatal road if you don't plan. So if you don't plan, you plan to fail. If you plan to attract something, make sure you have an environment ready for you to receive the attraction. That's how deep it gets. That's why you have to plan. That's why when you're growing flowers, you got to till the lawn and till the area and make sure that all the little stuff and the little insects in there and fertilizers there, so that you got to plan it out so the plants and all the stuff that you're trying to plant will grow and flourish in that particular area. So you do have to plan in order for you to grow. So that's where we at. And the word courage, divine courage, in the Chaldean system, divine adds up to a master number 22. And then courage adds up to the number 27, which is a 9. So you do 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It deals with 31 now. 31 is a very interesting number, although that's an expressive and creative number that adds up to a number 4 at the end of the whole equation. 31 in the compound number is a number of seclusion. In the compound numerology, the Chaldean system of symbolism and mysticism, the 31 is the number of seclusion. So you'll notice that people born on the 31 likes to be in a certain way of secluding themselves, keeping to themselves. So in order for you to find that, dig within for that divine courage, you have to put yourself in some form of seclusion so you can actually listen from within to bring out the greater aspect of that expansive 33 and that 3 in the 31 and that 1, that creativity and that surface. You have to go within. You have to seclude yourself and then discipline your thoughts and discipline your heart to work together. See, I think I'm the only one breaking down words like this, using the numbers. A lot of people don't break down the words, simple words that we use every day. I just broke down divine courage in its mathematical and numerovational meaning and how to use it. Because divine in the Pythagorean adds up to 36, which is a 9. So you have to find and see it to completion. In the Chaldean system, it adds up to a 22. So it's a master builder, the word divine. In order for you to represent the divine in you, you have to be willing to masterfully, internally build from an architectural mindset and emotionally and healingly, in a healing and a foundation laying method. The word divine, because all of us are divine. We take the word for advantage. We take that word for advantage. We don't respect that word. And like I said, in order for you to bring out that divine courage in you, you got to dig deep. To digging. And then if, again, you want to find that Christ energy within you, which is the anointed one, all of us have the Christ energy. Do not only give it to the person in the book. That's why in the book it says, be ye therefore perfect. Even your father or mother in heaven are perfect. So you're supposed to strive for this perfection. But it's not about being perfect just physically, because physically in this realm, it's perfect in its own way, but there's an imperfection because free will is doing a lot of stuff. But that perfect energy that we're born under. You know what I'm saying? That perfect energy that we're under. Because the energy is perfect. It can't be created or destroyed. It's energy. So you could be, I don't care how old or young you are, you can still have the energy. That's why they used to say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Spirit is willing. I used to walk with my grandfather. He was like 90 years old, and that man walked fast in Jamaica. And I was trying to keep up with him. He was moving. He was 98, 90 years old. He was just moving. And it was uneven terrain. He's moving. My grandfather was moving. You know what I'm saying? At 90. I'm following him. And then when I was younger, when he was 80 or 70, or when I'm following him and he moving. I'm a young man. Like, what the heck? This man can move. The spirit is willing. And although the flesh is getting older and deteriorating and going back to the earth, this man was still moving. He's still doing his thing. This man was moving. And I know I have that energy like he has. I know I have that magical, intentional energy like he has. And all of us from our ancestors, that's in our bloodline. I'm not talking anything spookism. I'm talking about what's in your blood, probably 400 to 500 to 1,000 generations. It's still there. That's what my shirt says. Magic equals intention. Magic equals intention. I got this from a place that's no longer in Stone Mountain. It was called Gemstone Jewelry, but it's no longer there. So on that note, family, look, you got to dig deep. If you want to get your precious out of you, like gold, silver, diamonds, platinum, you got to dig deep within for divine courage. For divine courage. And the word divine courage is mathematical. And the mathematics and its interpretation will give you guidance if you apply it. So be willing to share my videos. It's all good. Be willing to watch my YouTube channel. It's all good. I got the Numerovational Nation. That's one of my YouTube channels. Don't have that much people, but I have over 1,000 people. So that is helping out. Because I really haven't put that much content, but now I'm putting more content on it. Of course, King Simon Presents, only quality people. That just goes to tell all of you people out there, it's not about the quantity for me, it's about the quality. It's quality. So when you invest or you donate, or thank you for the badges that you share, people send me Cash App and all that, it's about the investment and the circulation of funds. And look, 19 to 20,000 I have on YouTube, if they circulated funds will come back to them, because that's the law of circulation that I learned from the late great Reverend Ike. The law of circulation. So what I do out here, even if I don't get anything, it comes in different ways. It comes through my book sales. It comes through the sessions that book me, that people that book me through my sessions. It comes in various ways, because people, I remember speaking to someone before I close out. I was speaking to a brother, one of my clients, and he was thinking about this lottery. You want to win the lottery, because he's been winning lottery in his own way. And then I told him, I guided him to certain books by Kenneth Dickerson and all that. But then I had to help open his mind out, open his mind to that lottery. And circulating finance to win a lottery is just like circulating your book out there and getting the people buying your book. That's the lottery. So and because his numbers had 8 and different things, and number 7 in it, he had a lot of multiple different 7s and 8s in his chart. I told him, you want to attract money, then you have to be able to put out that divine integrity and understanding into your intentions, and then you can attract. So you have to, again, lay out a situation that you can prepare and hold on to what you're attracting. And he understood that. He understood that. It's not about you constantly going to play the lotto, but are you willing to dig deep within, for the divine courage to lay out another form of stream of income, whether it's writing, whether it's editing, whether it's making music, whatever you got to do. You got to put that net out there so the finance can come back to you.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hey everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards, the first annual event of its type. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. And guess what? It's time to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person for this amazing level event. It's going to be above the Oscars, above the Grammys. And guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com. And the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you want to be there in person because I'm going to be speaking. That's right. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. If you want to come to a mini conference, this is the place to be because I'm going to give you the knowledge that night as well as performances. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section. And you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's going to be a night to remember. You don't want to forget this. And you help vote by going to forbiddenknowledge.com, go to the Conscious Awards link. You can text in a vote for who you want for any category, as well as if you're out of the country, you can use the web form ballot to still vote for anyone you think is worthy of being honored that night. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I want to see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at
King Simon the Numerator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.